So we meet together in the center. We meet in November, mid-November. So in 2000 was a run for the families. We're nothing without our families, right? That's what keeps us strong, you know, that solidarity, that union. In 2004 was a run for the women nation. Now this is when the elders decided to have the prayer extend, so we extended it down to Panama. And the same thing, from Argentina, they run up and they met us in Panama, November 18th, or November 16th, somewhere around there. In 2008 was for sacred sites. We ran for sacred sites, the lugares sagrados, right? Those sacred sites throughout the whole continent. An example, when we went to Teotihuacan, we rested there for 4 days at the temples. The elders allowed us to stay there and to pray and to bring, and even, I forgot to share, when we run with spiritual staffs. Our feet aren't the ones, and when we run, it's not the ones that do the healing when we run through these communities. These sacred staffs that we're here, that we run with, that are many of them throughout the whole continent, they hold the people's prayers. Now when you think about that, it doesn't really hit the conscious, right? Because sometimes people look at it, oh, they're just staffs with feathers on them. But they're not. A lot of healing comes through these feathers. We have two main staffs that start. One is the eagle staff and one is the condor staff. It starts in Chicxulub, Alaska, the first. That's the eagle staff, and we start with 3 feathers. It's the eagle, the condor, and the quetzal. So it represents North, Central, and South America. The other one is the condor staff, and that starts off too. And even the elders, in a more spiritual way, they say that it acknowledges the northern star and the southern star. And so when we run, we call it that grandfather staff, the abuelito, the águila. When we run, we touch all the communities that we touch. We circle up and we go ahead. The community tells us what's going on in their communities and they tell us, you know, whatever struggles that they're facing. They put their intentions into that prayer of that eagle feather as they're speaking to all of us. We take it into our hearts and we take it into our minds, and when we run, we pray for those things. And so think of that going through the whole continent from Alaska all the way down to Central America. Hundreds and hundreds of communities that you touch that are pleading for help for the struggles, the blood violence that we're all facing as human beings throughout the world. And so it brings that healing. Those staffs are what does the work. You know, our elders tell us these things. The elders they say that these aren't my words, I just want to share with you what I've learned. They say that when we're born, that representation of that staff, they call it that baston, we're already grown with the staff when we're born, our spinal cord. So when we're born, as we grow, our spine grows, but nowadays as our spine grows, it becomes disconnected from Mother Earth, Donan Sintlali, in the sky. So it helps us reconnect with that connection. And so in 2012 right now, they're running right now as I speak, or maybe they're resting. The destination is Guatemala, and they're running for water. But how significant though, right? All the water issues that are going on, the exploitation of water throughout the world, not just this continent, but throughout the world. So many of our relatives are being affected by these things. And so our elders teach us that by doing this prayer, I believe in my heart that it's going to eventually heal the world, and it is spreading, you know. So that they're running to Guatemala. The temple's in Tikal. It's a very sacred place. That's where they're going to meet. And they have about a month to keep on running. So imagine running, dropping everything that you have in your life, your job, your school, whatever it may be, and running for about 6 months. Every day, every minute, every second, you're in prayer. That's all you're doing. Very simple, nothing complex. You run, you pray, you eat, you have cultural exchange with the community. They share with you what's going on. Same thing, routine. You get up in the morning early, you run, you pray, you eat, same thing for 6 months. And all you're doing is just praying with those staffs. So this run, it's very significant for right now, everything what's going on again of what we shared, right? In these prison systems, we pray for these things. We go run to the cemeteries today. We acknowledge the cemeteries, you know, the people passed away. the same time, there's a lot of gang violence, right? So we pray for those things too. There's runs going on all the time. They have barrio runs in Tucson. We do runs still here in East LA that they do over by UCLA, the Tongva Springs, the sacred area there. So just keep that in mind. However it is that you pray, keep in mind of those prayers that are going on. Little kids like that, I remember running with 3 generations. Children that age, a mother and the grandmother, they ran from Canada all the way down to Mexico because they believe in their heart that this prayer is going to bring healing to Mother Earth, to our communities, and our struggles of everything that we're facing. So just keep in mind your prayer, burn a candle, burn some copal, burn some sage, however you pray. And just pray for them. Pray for protection for them, that they're safe, that they have all the necessities that they need to keep on moving forward this prayer. And also, one of our elders, his name's Abuelito Gustavo. He touched many people's hearts throughout the world, not just the continent, but just who he is as a human being, as a person. And so his family, the Gutierrez family, during the run of this time, I got to help out a little bit, but during that time, he passed away. And so just pray, keep in mind his family and his prayers, because he was one of the co-founders of this run in 1990, like I was explaining. So just pray for him. His name's Gustavo Gutierrez. I got little notes right here, so I'm gonna share with you, because I know we had shirts up, right? And you guys didn't know what's going on. These all t-shirts. Okay, cool. So these t-shirts, basically these t-shirts are for $12. All that money goes to this run right now. We send it to them, and it goes through to LIPA, which is Los Angeles Indigenous Alliance. Now it's lipa.net, and if you guys want to be able to write a check or anything, you can feel free to come and talk to us. We're over at that table with my Uncle Al over there. Raise your hands, wave your hands like you just don't care. Yeah, over there. You gotta have comedy, right? Medicine, that's the best medicine. So they're $12. A lot of runners, we try to keep in touch with what's going on. They need help right now to get back home. Some of them, you know, whether it be the south and the north, for food. And then it continues, right? This it's not gonna just stop. You know, if it's, I hope it continues the next 4 years to keep on spreading to other places. But thank you for allowing me to speak, and you know, I hope that whatever I shared with you, that it resides in your hearts and with your families, and you pass it on to your children and all your other spaces that you're around, whether it be academic or cultural. You spread that, and then be aware. You know, a lot of people these days that have Facebook, right? Check up on the UCLA, because there's going to be a Peace and Dignity Club. I only have that title so we can have resources to bring self-awareness about this prayer and how it contributes to everybody. And people who don't understand about sticks with feathers, they can understand about protecting the environment, Mother Earth, and all the different things that she's hurting right now. You know, we need to help her out. So I have my sister go ahead and raise up. These are the t-shirts. Check it out. Please help us, and bless your families and everything that we talked about. You know, just our communities need help. You know, there's a lot of us whose hearts have the same goal, the same objective. Whether it hit us hard in the past, to where it opened up our eyes to want to see the importance of helping out our community, or whether that's just who we are. So let's come together as brothers and sisters and help out each other in our communities. Aho. Yeah.